I feel a need. I feel a need to breed a seed of consciousness. I feel a need to breed a seed of conviction so that my people will take heed and receive this word of education. So that once received, we'll take the lead, stand in agreement instead of contradiction. We now need to stop compromising and abiding the state of self-hate and degradation. Gunshots are flying, young boys are dying, mothers are crying, and politicians are still lying. And during all of this, the boys in the hood are still trying to make ends meet by hustling on their feet, walking in hot zones so they continue to carry heat. They carry heat until they greet their maker, predestined appointment with the undertaker. Never made it right with the one who dwells above, who was greater. But now as they stare in front of their maker, they now see there are no more enemies to fight. They stare now into that proverbial bright light. No more time to make it right. The day has now turned to night permanently. So now they see that there was indeed truth to that story of divinity, that story that told us that we came from creation instead of evolution. And over the entrapment of sin there has been abolition, and through a cross of pain we witness a revolution. This is why we live in expectation, beaming with anticipation for the fulfillment of the book of Revelation. I feel the need. But the media penetrates our minds, depredates our morals, teach us to be unkind. We are desensitized by them who criticize the notion of faith and integrity. Politicians manipulate the voices of our leaders, converting them into bottom feeders. They killed Dr. King so he could no longer sing the tune that let freedom ring in the 1960s. But even today, freedom has come regardless of their destruction. Dr. King's words are still alive in today's conversation. Even then in 2008, we saw a black man rise above the hurdles of hate, making his way towards a finish line that in due time ended at a little White House. And when that was manifested, all my people did shout, "It's about time." For far too long we've been kept beneath the political line. Finally the White House is now painted with color. So we waited for Obama to come in and recover the many broken pieces of a people who have been treated like feces. Finally we will have a voice. We now have a competent choice in this new day. But I feel a need. I feel a need to evaluate the measure of internal hate that my people have adopted. I feel a need to terminate this mentality and shed light within my ethnicity, therefore curing our social dichotomy, creating a clean slate. You know, we no longer have to wait at the back of the line, and drinking from white fountains is no longer a crime. No longer have we need to sit at the back of the bus, yet still we gravitate to the back in all things. Why? Because we still think this is where we belong. We think that we are the tail and not the head, but of this belief we are dead wrong. But this topic isn't about fountains, nor is it about driving in a bus. There's a greater truth that caused me to put up this fuss, a disturbing truth that leaves me in disgust. There are still shackles holding back a progression, but it's all in the mind, only a mental state of oppression. Yet we sit back each year during election, refusing to vote because we say we are in a state of depression. We say, why bother voting anyway? Is there really a point in an election? We say it will just be another white man being elected, which means that all the black issues will continue to be rejected. So therefore goes all the values that our forefathers once protected. Oh yes, we say this. But this is exactly the mentality that has kept us in shackles. It's the oppressor of the mind that my ethnicity tackles. Is there still racism? Why, of course there is. Are there still social schisms and prejudices? You know there is. So what am I saying? Do we simply do nothing, keep praying and hope that change will come? Hell no. From conflict I have never been one to run. We must tackle these issues dead on, but we must tackle these issues with positive motivation. Come on, let's stop hanging our heads. Don't you remember what Dr. King said? Because although Martin Luther King is dead, his words are still alive. The lessons that he taught us we must once again revive. Dr. King said, many years ago in the American nation, there was a signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, seemingly paving the way of our liberation. Yet, many years later, the Negro is still not free. Many years later, the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. Many years later, the Negro still lives on a lonely island of poverty amidst a vast ocean of material prosperity. Many years later, the Negro is still languished on the corners of our society. Dr. King said, I have a dream. I too have a dream, and it's that one day my people will wake up and say, we have now been dreaming for far too long. We must now arise and make straight that which is wrong. I have a dream, and it's that we will be able to see the manifestation of the societal changes that we ask for when we pray. I believe Dr. King would say, this will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will see a display for the things for which they pray. Then they will be able to sing with new meaning, my country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, for thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom bring. The great Dr. King had a dream, and I too have a dream, but I'm tired of dreaming, tired of sleeping on my gifted. I'm tired of teenagers bleeding from gunshots and knife wounds, when the reality is that they are wounded in the mind, no longer slaves, but still enslaved by the mind. But I feel a need to breathe the seed of restoration. I feel a need to utter a word of motivation. My people, can we rise? Can we rise up and manifest the success that has been embedded in us? Can we rise up and begin focus? Can we rise up, black people, and stop dreaming? Can we now begin to start succeeding? Yes, we can. So let's just do it. Just like the Nike slogan said, just do it. Instead of musing about success in their heads, let's just go get it, claim it, manifest it. Can we do it? Yes, I think we can. So let's just do it. Let's stop pushing the snooze button when we know that mentally our purpose is internally sounding an alarm.